So, hello, and first off, let me say that today is not January 26th, it's like February 11th or 12th. It's just my date got messed up. So, yeah. So, but in this tutorial, anyway, we're going to be doing some exciting stuff, like installing a text editor. Now, some people go ahead and say just use Notepad or use TextEdit. Now these are fine text editors, and I actually learned using only Notepad, but I recommend for beginners having a little more user-friendly text editor. So for Mac and Windows, I recommend downloading Sublime Text, Windows and Mac. But if you're the kind of person that's like, Sublime, why do I need all these silly features? Well, you really don't. It's just that, like, Sublime Text, I don't know, people seem to like it. There has to be something about Sublime. But if you don't want Sublime, you can also go to my favorite, Notes, ++.org. Oops. .org. Try plus. If I spell that correctly, yep. This is it actually has Windows 8 support. So this was written in C++, like all text editors. This still so cool. But yeah. So this is Notepad, whichever one you choose to download. Then when you open it up, it might look, I think it should look the same. You just have this nice black interface. This is Sublime Text, and sadly, Notepad is not available on Mac OS X, cause that was still written in C++. They're just too lazy, I guess, to make it for OS 10. And obviously OS 9 can't use it, or OS 7, or, well, you get the point. But basically, how this is going to work is you have to open up your favorite text editor, and you select File, New File. Oops. File, Open, File, New File. And I'm telling you, today is not the 26th. And then select File, Save As. And now save it to your desktop as index.html. Now, all of this is very important, and commonly what I would want to do if I were viewing this tutorial, I would want to name it like liam.html, or I don't know, or programming.html. I'm going to say this once, and you can choose to not follow me, but when your website gets posted, your website won't work. You have to have exactly index.html. Now, gonna set my cat. Okay, let me just fit this. And my cat needs to be let out. Just a sec. Cool. So now this is all working and fine and dandy. So once you have saved this file, you've basically created your first ever website. Just think of it like that. Yippee! You created your first ever website. Now you can go celebrate. Well, it's not that simple. Let us actually put something on the screen. Let me just say, for instance, hello world. Which, in programming, this is what people do when they're introduced to a new programming language. Just as a common thing to make sure they've set up the software correctly, to make sure that their computers actually support that language. You can also file save, that kind of stuff. So now, if I open up my Safari, good old Safari, and drag this file on, or double tap, I just don't want to open it in Chrome, because for some reason Chrome's been really slow, and I know it shouldn't really affect it, but you know, I kind of like Safari. So here we go. Hello world, formatted correctly, available to be viewed on your very own computer. Now, as you can see, it's an index.html. Now, we went over some interesting things, like downloading a text editor. Now, if you're having issues, it's just because your text editor might be like, for text edit, which is default on Mac, you have to make it plain text, and sometimes you have to save it with the right, because it shows you a bunch of options for if you're trying to make a website. So yeah, it might add additional formatting, so when you open it up in the web browser, it'll actually show. Right now, it'll show your text, but when we start writing code, instead of showing what the code produces, it'll just show the code. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.